Hello everybody, how's it going on this crappy rainy Saturday late afternoon in for another cruise with the old Crown Vic. We are only about 1,500 miles away from hitting the 100,000 mile marker on this car, and I bought it with 60,000 miles, so she's finally starting to get up there into the higher well, not very high mileage for these, but overall higher mileage range, and gonna hit that 6-digit marker in the mileage. So right now we're at 159,000 kilometers. Hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday. Really, I don't have too much to talk about with the car. I did a little bit of sanding on the rear quarter panels where some rust was, and sprayed it over with some primer and paint, like 5 or 6 coats of each. So that way it should hold up throughout the winter time with all the salt and everything. I'm hoping in the spring I'll end up getting new front fenders for the car. I've already had those sanded down 2 or 3 times, so I mean at this point it's just not getting worthwhile to keep sanding, painting. So I'm probably just going to bite the bullet and get a couple new fenders and leave it at that, because otherwise it'll just be a game of constantly sanding and painting like I just said. Really, the car's held up great, hasn't had any new issues or anything. I've just done the oil changes in about 20,000 more kilometers, so 12,000 miles. I'll have the transmission fluid changed down again, and really I'll get the air filter, fuel filter done before the winter time too, so all that's brand new. After all the summer driving and everything and packing the miles on, I really don't have a lot planned for this car. However, I think I may just switch up the look, get a set of full wheel covers just to see what it looks like. I mean, you can get them off eBay for $80 Canadian. They're not factory OEM ones, but just to switch up the look a little bit from the current that it's been for quite a long time. Like I said, last time you seen the car, I just finally got the new front grille put in, and which looks awesome. Like it a lot more than the chrome, but I might switch it up once in a while as well. I mean, it's always good to switch up the look of your car. Really hasn't even been any good Crown Vics on Kijiji at all for quite a long time. I was kind of looking at one for the winter, however, that thing ended up making rear end noises, had a chirping when it was cold, so I know it was only going to be $2,000, but it was a 2011 with 225,000 kilometers. Really, it just would have ended up being more money than what the car was worth, I think, by the time I probably end up getting a rear end rebuilt, and just a whole lot of other stuff which could easily go wrong in that time over the course of winter, which is when you need a car to be most reliable. So like I said, just gonna get the fenders replaced on this probably in the spring, get the car super well undercoated. I know a guy that can do it. So really not a whole lot to update about this car. The only thing that has stopped working finally in the car is the, I don't know if it's the blend door actuator that's starting to go, but I cannot really control the direction of the vents. They change on their own. So if anyone has any ideas what that would be, go ahead and let me know in the comment section. I'm not too worried about it. I think it's the actual automatic temperature control unit itself, but I can buy a rebuilt one off eBay for $100 and try it out. Doesn't work, oh well, it's only $100 or whatever. New tires, I picked up brand new, or not brand new, but they still had 10/32 tread Bridgestone Blizzaks for the winter time. So near brand new tires to put on. I'm keeping my 17s for the winter this time because my 16s were pretty much worn down and the rims were bent up, so I sold them for $200. Summertime, I plan on getting at least 2 new tires. The Michelin Defenders I put on here have not held up that well. They've actually, after only 4 years, have noticed some dry rot and a little bit of cracking here and there, which is very unusual because Michelin usually makes a good tire. But I was looking up online, I guess with the Michelin Defenders, this has started to become quite the common issue. And however, my tires are not that bad. The front ones haven't worn that great, which is my fault because I didn't keep them pumped up properly, but that one's my fault. But overall, the tires themselves in the back as well, I've even noticed a couple dry rot cracks starting up already, which is, these things have only seen 4 summers, and that's very unusual for a tire. So I think next time I'm going to go with some Cooper RSA 3s, I think they're called. They're a direct summer tire, and Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear that they have, for the price especially, because they're much cheaper than a Michelin tire, they have fairly good grip and handling, which would be an upgrade. Depending on how the car is doing, I might next year get the rear sway bar installed in the back. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I just haven't taken the time or the money to do so. Kind of a money hoarder, not a bad thing. Yeah, so really I've packed on another 10K since the last video. Like, these cars just hold up extremely well, and as I say in all my videos, the only thing you really have to watch for if you own a cop car is the transmission. That thing can be a very much so of a ticking time bomb. Even if you get a detective's unit, there's still a possibility that it could, sorry about that, that the transmission could blow. Fuck me, this is going well, guys. I don't know how, but you can't really see, but I was about to end the video anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one till I see you next time. Holy God, this is going to be a fun ride for the phone. Yeah, but I'll let you hear the engine full throttle.